Hello friends, this is Lisa at Winter Sky Creations. I am here again, finally. I missed the weekend. I had an opportunity to go out and do a few things, catch up on some errands and such things like that, so that's what I did. So we're going to talk about a couple things today. We're going to talk about the struggle of being a creative. That's a real thing. But beyond that, over this weekend, I had the chance to hit up Goodwill. Hadn't been there for a while, so I have a mini Goodwill haul that I will share with you today. I got a couple of these crates. This one I've already stained with a gray wash to help organize my life a little. We'll talk more about that later, the lack of organization in my life, but you know, that's pretty cool. I got two of those. The other one is not finished yet, but it is currently, excuse my chair, it's currently full of goodies, so we're going to remove some of those for a minute so I can show you the other crate, the way it was unfinished. It looks just like the first one. It's just the same thing, but unfinished. And this one is definitely at the unfinished state because it has a little bit of come loose here just a bit, but just right at the edge, so we'll be able to get that glued up and tacked together really easily. And these were, I don't know, is that right side up? Yeah, these were originally from Doris, I believe. Yeah, they were something distributed by Doris, which did a lot with Pat Catan's. I don't know what they do now that Pat Catan's are all closed, but that's the only place I ordinarily saw them. But that is the unfinished one, and this is the one that I gave a gray wash to. I don't know what I'll do to this one yet. Maybe the same, maybe something different. Hard to say. But there's that. I have to find somewhere to park this now that I've got it in my hand. There we go. And they also, those were 99 cents a piece, which was a really good price. I scanned the barcode on the Amazon app, and they were selling on Amazon for about $11.99, which for what they are, I thought was hugely overpriced. So after that, I also found several balls of yarn that they were selling for 49 cents a piece. So I got two of this color of Noro. It's 100% wool. It was normally around $9.75 wherever this was, but it's still around the $10 mark to buy it new. So I've got two in this brown color. In that brown colorway, let's put that aside. I've got two of the Noro in this pretty teal and gray colorway. Two of these are enough to make a small scarf. There are two of these. It's also the Noro yarn that has no label, but they're two of the same colorway there. And what else is there? All right, park some more yarn. And there is an oddball of a bright pink and orange and blue colorway of the same Noro yarn. Those are all really awesome yarns. I found this Lamb's Pride bulky that is wool and mohair blend. It also had a price tag of around $10 originally, and these are all new and full. And then we had this one is a Classic Elite yarn that was about $12.99. It's a Gatsby. It is a blend of wool, viscose, nylon. It's a pretty cool little piece of yarn in a brown tweedy, well, I guess it's brownish. It's a tweedy flecky thing. It's kind of a brownish gray. It's a pretty color. Let's see. We had a couple more pieces of yarn. We had some more Classic Elite. This is Le Grand Mohair, which is very hairy, as you can see here. It is a very hairy yarn. I'm not sure, like I said, I'm not sure what I'm doing with these yarns, especially these oddballs. I think they are going on eBay later. So, you know, if you're interested, you might be able to find them there. Here is a completely unnamed yarn, but it was really cool looking too. wonder if I can find the end here real quick. Yeah. It is a 2-stranded yarn, I think. This appears to be. I don't know. Not positive. But it looks like it is. Yes, it is. It is a 2-stranded yarn. I'm not sure what the fiber content is, but it is a pretty cool looking one in blues and grays also. That one I probably won't put for sale because I don't really know how to market that, being unlabeled completely. And I think there was one, yeah, 2 more. It's the same thing, just a little bit of sock yarn. There's two balls of that went 2 for the price of 1 in gray and black. So there's some really cool yarns. They're useful. And the 2 crates. So all the yarns, they were 49 cents a piece, other than that last bit that was 2. And then I got this, which, you know, these are very handy to have, especially in the camper or just around the place. And I will not show it at, I will turn it on. It is very bright, but I did not shine it at you, so yeah. So I thought, okay, 99 cents for another one of those. You can't have too many of those hanging around. So that was my mini Goodwill haul. I can't talk there very well. Which made me happy because, like I said, I got these crates to try to organize some of my life. My painting supplies are taking over, so this might be a good size to store some of those in so I can have the colors I want to use more often close by. I don't know. Been struggling with the organizational thing. And then I managed to get to Dollar General, and they had these. They had 2 of these Easter campers on sale on clearance. They were half price. They were $3.50, so I got 2 for $3.50. I'm not exactly fond of a pink camper or the pink and green combination. I'm not fond of this too much with the giant carrot on top. So I figured I'm in the business of crafting and creating, so we have removed the carrot from the top and removed that little shiny piece that said Easter blessings or whatever. So I removed those 2 things, and I've got it painted, which, you know, even after 2 coats of paint, we're still seeing some of the stripes on that awning thing, but I am not done with it yet. We will, here, let's back up so you can actually see it. I'm sticking it right in your face, sorry. But yeah, I will figure out what colors I want to go with from here. I figured I've got 2 sides that have these pieces if I choose to leave those on both of them. I don't know if I'll change this or not. I'm going to try this one as it is and paint the parts that I did in white. I figure if it turns out really badly, I can either repaint it or try something on the backside. And then on the other one, I can also have 2 opportunities of creating something that looks better. But yes. So yeah, I'd like to do things like that, upcycling, recreating, things like that. It's a challenge because, yeah, it's part of the struggle of being a creative. A creative is a person who likes to be creative. They like to create things, they like to do things. Being creative isn't just the sorts of things that I do here with paint and glue and sometimes fabric and yarn, obviously, and let's see what else. Yeah, other things, ribbons that I occasionally use, ropes, what have you. With all the stuff like that, that is not the only way to be creative. You can also be creative with writing. I know a very creative writer who is becoming very successful in her own right and doing very well at it. My husband can be creative when it comes to remodeling and fixing up houses when he chooses to. You wouldn't necessarily know it from looking at our house, but then again, you wouldn't know that I like to create decorative pieces by looking at our house either, because I really don't decorate. Yes. Speaking of recreating things, though, this thing here is a this sign makes me happy. So this one does actually hang up in my house because it makes me happy. It is a piece from a bolt of fabric. It's cardboard, literally cardboard, that I gessoed to give it an interesting texture and a nice surface for the paint to adhere on. And then I just had fun painting it, and it has these nice reflective colors that you can kind of catch some of that color. I'm probably going to make you all dizzy moving this too much, but yeah, that part, this one makes me happy. It reminds me to have joy in my life too, and remember to have some joy every day. But trying to be a creative is challenging, especially when, like, I like to redo things. I like to upcycle things that are pieces of junk, or things that are destined to be tossed away. I have my paintbrushes corralled in several cans, metal cans from vegetables and fruits that we use in the kitchen, and I have redone those in different ways. I'll take you on a tour of that sometime here on YouTube, but that's out in the kitchen and I'm not, so. But in trying to redo, upcycle things and make things out of nothing and make things out of something, there's a lot of stuff around, and that is part of the struggle of being a creative, especially one like me and like my husband, who we both like to see the potential in stuff, which then means there's a lot of stuff with potential hanging around our house forever. And I have been struggling over the last week, this weekend. The first part of this is Tuesday, so I had a good weekend, but it was a bit of a struggle creativity wise. I managed to get out Saturday and Sunday, both days, which was good. I managed to get some of this trimmed off, which was necessary. I managed to get groceries that I hadn't really done a good grocery trip in probably almost a month, so we really needed some good groceries. I went to Goodwill and Dollar General and found some things to create with, because I didn't have enough stuff here already to create with, right? And so, and I got to go out and eat at a new restaurant and spend some time with my husband. He's been really busy doing some recreating work for another person that needed a house redone to sell. So yeah, so it was good to reconnect there and just spend a couple of days with my husband, running around and getting some errands done and eating out. Didn't get anything creative done at the house though, so I'm kind of lacking there and keeping up with my YouTube and other social medias and postings. And it'll work out. I'm still trying to get into a good schedule and routine of being consistent. Consistent is so hard. But that's only part of being a creative. I said, both of us like to create things from everything. And that creates a vast amount of disorganization. And it's driving me crazy the last few days. And which has also prevented me from doing much creative. I have spent several hours the last 2 or 3 days sorting out old paperwork, old utility bills and other things that have collected over the years. And because neither one of us are very organized in that area, the stuff tends to just get piled into boxes and set aside. And some of those boxes have actually moved with us once or twice, which is sad. Very sadly pathetic. But because neither one of us are terribly organized with that, we can't just say, oh, this is a pile of old utility bills, we can dump them. We actually have to go through each thing envelope by envelope and make sure there is nothing in them. I didn't find anything exciting this weekend mixed in with those, other than a couple of papers that need to be kept until we decide we don't need them for sure. But in the past, when I've gone through, I've actually found cash, which was definitely fun to find in those envelopes. I didn't find anything like that, so that's kind of disappointing, but there is a potential that there are things mixed in there that shouldn't be there. So I did have to go through things piece by piece, envelope by envelope, which is so tedious, but I feel like I've really made some headway on that. The drawer that we collect the things in immediately until they can be stored further. Hopefully they will no longer go from that drawer into boxes. Hopefully they'll go from that drawer into wherever they need to be, mostly trash. But we can now open and close that drawer without hurting ourselves, because it was so full it wouldn't even open and close. So that drawer is able to accept the remainder of this year's bills and paperwork that come in until they can get sorted out for the next year. So that was good. I got that accomplished. But that's just part of the struggle of being creative. Is I tend to keep everything, and I'm currently in a very small place. It's under 900 square feet, and there are only two of us, but it's still there's so much stuff. We're so disorganized. I am so disorganized with it that I have some of my arts and craft materials and painting material. It's in 3 different rooms. Some of it's here in the back end, the office area of my bedroom, which I can just call my office, I guess, because our bedroom's huge, and it's partitioned off so that it doesn't detract from the remainder of the bedroom. So this is, my office area. I have some of my stuff here, which I'm hoping to get more of it here, where I have these 2 desks. And I'm trying to get that organized to where I can actually sit down and paint paintings there. I'm currently working at my kitchen counter doing the crafting stuff like this and a lot of the other things I've been doing. Doing those things at the counter is really good, but it works well and it's easy. But trying to do a painting, that takes longer than this. Trying to do it standing at the counter is exhausting, really. It just doesn't work well. So I'm needing to get that organized there. But I have some of my craft supplies here, things that I'm not using as often. The things that I'm using a lot more often are in the kitchen, which makes it messy out there, to put it bluntly. It's very disorganized and messy. And some of it's sitting in the hallway because I got really good deals on a lot of craft paint and artist tube paint from Michael's when they closed and went out of business here in January, I believe it was. So I got a lot of paint when it was 90% off. And it's like, okay, it's here. I will buy as much as I can afford to buy. But now it's taking over my area and my space, and I have to take 20 minutes every time I want to paint something because I need to find where the colors of paint are. I've got some containers to try to organize some of the tubes into color families. That is helpful, but I still don't have enough room in those plastic containers to organize all the tubes. So some of them still haven't made it into those because they just don't all fit. I got the quarts. I think it's quarts of paint in pump bottles. I have half gallons of some of it in pump bottles. Some of it is they call it, some of it in the quart bottles is artist paint, according to Michael's artist paint. It's still a very low quality, but it's better than the stuff in the half gallons. But a lot of that I'll be using in the summer when I have some crafting to do at a campground near us. So some of that will go and live there in a couple of months and be out of my way. But until then, it is taking up space in my house. I have in the past done a lot of knitting and some weaving. So I have knitting supplies, needles, and yarn. Not as many as I had because I have been weeding those down. I'm trying not to sneeze here. It's another thing that has really gotten my creativity in a tizzy. Is it's spring, therefore allergies. So hopefully we're not going to be sneezing all over. Let's see. I've also did a little tiny bit of spinning of yarns. That wasn't really for me, but I still have a few of those supplies and books left. That's another thing. Several of the knitting and spinning books that I don't need anymore are out. I've decided I'm not going to be doing any of the spinning. The knitting I will still keep, and the weaving, but I'm weeding out a lot of my knitting books and magazines because I only tend to knit certain things, and if I need new, other than a couple of favorite patterns that I'll keep out of things, I usually search online for a pattern every time I want to do something different anyhow, the same way and when I want to make something different, even though I have many cookbooks, first thing I do when I want to make something different is search online rather than searching through that's another thing that needs sorted out. Oh my. There's so many things here. And, as far as, I still have a lot of art supplies and craft supplies, colored pencils, I have adult coloring books that I don't even take time to use because I don't know why. I need to either use them or get them somewhere where somebody can get some use out of them. See, I in the past I sewed a lot, so I have a lot of sewing supplies yet. I don't do much of that other than when I randomly once every 2 years maybe decide I want to actually create something through sewing. Other than that, I mostly just do some repairs and things to keep our clothes together. It's kind of weird. Yeah, so I have a lot of that to go through, and yeah. So, struggles of being creative. Part of it is just a total lack of disorganization here, because when you're creative in many areas, you have a lot of things, and it's so hard to keep them organized in a manner that makes them easy to use, therefore encouraging your creativity. I don't know if any of you have any ideas out there or any pointers, or if you have the same struggle. You can comment on the video here and let me know what your thoughts are and where you're at with this kind of a creativity struggle. Yeah. So, but I did have a good weekend, and like I said, I finally got out and got a few things done that needed to be done. The bad part of that is, we're still under restrictions, so there's not as, we still have to wear masks everywhere when we go out. So after going out Saturday and Sunday and getting some things done, I spent the next 2 days with a migraine because I cannot wear a mask without getting a migraine, which is why I hate going. It's probably one reason I really hate going out to do the shopping and things that I need to do, even just for groceries. And I am not good at grocery shopping online. I have started getting some other things online when I can, but sometimes you just need to go out and look at the grocery store yourself and see what you want to get. But yeah, that's neither here nor there. But, well, it is kind of here because, as far as being, struggling and being creative, a migraine tends to shut down the creativity quite a bit. So, yeah. So there's that. But I think I probably should get off of here and let you guys go, and I will be back and talk to you again another day. Hopefully, well, this isn't necessarily a depressing one, but hopefully we'll have something a little more helpful. I don't know. I guess I'm looking for help with my my lack of organization of things, and it's just really hard to figure out where to put it all, where I can access it and use it where I want to use it. And some of the things I would be using if I'm still crafting in the kitchen and painting in here in the office, I would either need to divide some of my supplies or carry them back and forth. I don't know. It's an interesting mess. So, but I've been on here for almost 23 minutes. That's almost 25. So that's long enough for you guys to sit here and listen to me ramble. So I will let you guys go. Thank you, friends, for being here and listening. And, comment below, like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz that people always tell you. But, comment below with your struggles with creativity or any advice you might have. Thank you. See you again. Bye-bye.